Welcome back to BK Collectables. If you're passionate about rare American coins, incredible minting mistakes, and the thrill of discovering pocket change worth thousands, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Today we're taking a closer look at a coin that continues to baffle collectors, break auction records, and stir up mystery over 8 decades after it was accidentally struck. The legendary 1943 copper penny. It's one of the most famous error coins in the history of the United States Mint, and perhaps the holy grail of Lincoln cents. Let's talk about how this coin came to be, how many exist, and most importantly, just how much it's worth today. During World War II, copper was a critical resource needed for ammunition and wartime supplies. In response, the United States Mint made the decision to stop producing pennies with copper and instead used zinc-coated steel. That's why in 1943, nearly every penny struck in the United States was made of steel. These coins are easy to identify by their silver-like appearance and magnetic properties. They're commonly referred to as steel pennies or war cents, and while they're not particularly rare, they're certainly an interesting piece of American history. But here, where the story takes a dramatic turn. By mistake, a small number of copper planchets, those are the blank discs used to make coins, were left in the coin presses at the start of the steel penny production in 1943. As a result, a few pennies were struck on bronze planchets that were left over from 1942. These coins, known today as the 1943 copper penny, were never meant to exist. And because of that, they are worth an incredible amount of money. Only a few dozen authentic 1943 copper pennies are known to exist today. Most were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, though a couple are confirmed to have been minted in San Francisco and Denver, making the 1943 S copper penny and 1943 D copper penny even rarer. One of the most famous examples, a 1943 D copper penny, sold at auction in 1996 for over $82,000. Another example, in pristine condition, brought in a staggering $1.7 million at auction in 2010. These coins are so valuable because they were struck in error, were never supposed to be released, and only a tiny handful survived. What's more, counterfeits have become common, so finding a real one is exceptionally rare. Most of the fakes are steel cents that have been copper-plated to fool collectors. A simple test with a magnet can usually help tell the difference. Real 1943 copper pennies are not magnetic. If it sticks to a magnet, it's not the real deal. But even if it doesn't stick, that's only the beginning. Authenticating a coin like this requires expert analysis, including weight, metal content, and minting details under magnification. If you ever think you've come across a 1943 copper penny, don't clean it, don't alter it, and don't sell it quickly. Get it certified by a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC. That could be the difference between a coin worth a few bucks and one worth a few $100,000 or more. To put its value into perspective, even the most common authentic examples can easily fetch between $150,000 and $250,000, depending on condition. If you somehow have one in uncirculated condition, or with unique characteristics like doubling or a clear mint mark, the price could skyrocket well beyond that. The excitement around the 1943 copper penny also brings attention to other well-known coins with high values. For example, the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent, famous for its low mintage and controversial designer initials, has consistently sold for over $1,000 in decent shape. The 1955 doubled die penny is another collector favorite, with dramatic doubling on the date and lettering. In high grades, this coin can reach tens of thousands of dollars. Then there's the 1944 steel penny, the inverse of the 1943 copper, struck in steel when copper planchets had returned. Only a few of those exist as well, and are also worth 6 figures or more. These rare mint errors and transitional issues are some of the most valuable coins in American history. They're not just metal, they're time capsules, stories, and sometimes million-dollar mistakes. Whether you're sorting through rolls from the bank or looking through Grandpa's coin jar, it's always worth checking the dates. You never know what you might find. So the next time you come across a penny from 1943, take a closer look. If it's copper instead of steel, you just might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the history of the United States Mint. Thanks for watching BK Collectibles, and we'll see you in the next video.